panga mtunzi tiende pamozi tonse a Zambia mtima umozi chikondi chatu palibe kusiyana ndife amozi tieni tipange dziko latu.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Southern Africa Democracy, the Disappearing Act. Our main character this time is none other than Francis Kapwepwe, better known to TikTok scrollers as Why Me. And why him indeed? Because somehow in the year 2025, a man with a smartphone and a big mouth has managed to shake the mighty foundations of two governments, rattle regional law, and expose just how fragile freedom really is in our so-called democracies. The story begins like a Netflix thriller. His lawyers say he wasn't arrested in Lusaka. Oh no. They claim he was plugged straight out of Harare by Zambian police officers, blindfolded, bundled into a car, and smuggled across the border like contraband. Forget extradition treaties, forget the SADC protocols, forget even Zimbabwe's so-called sovereignty. No, apparently Zambian officers are now border-hopping bounty hunters, doing the work of Interpol, the CIA, and the cartel snatch squads all rolled into one. Except their target was a fugitive terrorist. It was a TikTok comedian who makes fun of Hakainde Hichilema's accent. Now pause and let that sink in. A man who films short videos mocking the president was allegedly abducted across borders as if he were a nuclear weapons dealer. Weeks missing, 6 weeks to be exact, hidden in unknown locations, then abracadabra, he suddenly reappears in a Lusaka courtroom facing new charges of hate speech and tribal incitement. Zambia's constitution says you must be brought to court within 48 hours. 48 hours. Instead, he vanished for 6 weeks. That's not law enforcement. That's a magic trick Houdini himself would envy. Of course, the UPND government claims they are protecting the country from hate speech and tribalism. Good words indeed. But here's the real punchline. The PF opposition, masters of political repression in their own era, are suddenly the self-declared guardians of democracy. They are shouting from the rooftops, if they can abduct a TikToker today, what about an opposition leader tomorrow? What about you, the ordinary citizen who dares complain about high prices or unemployment? Irony must be having a party. And then comes Zimbabwe's role in the continental circus. If Zambian police really did operate in Harare, two questions burn like firewood under a pot of sadza. Did Mnangagwa know? And if he did, why did he allow it? If he didn't know, how on earth can foreign officers cruise through Harare, snatch someone and drive across the border without a single roadblock officer asking for a bribe? Either way, Zimbabwe comes out looking like a banana republic that can't even protect its own sovereignty, or worse, a willing accomplice in silencing dissent. Meanwhile, the silence from both Lusaka and Harare is deafening. If everything was done legally, why not produce the extradition papers? If Zimbabwe allowed the operation, why not say so openly? Instead, we get nothing but closed mouths, fueling suspicions that this was indeed an illegal cross-border abduction. And let's be clear, if Zambia can ignore the law in Zimbabwe today, what's to stop Zimbabwe from doing the same tomorrow? What happens when the precedent spreads across SADC like a virus? Suddenly the war region becomes a playground for political kidnappings. This case isn't about whether YMI's videos were tasteful or reckless. They weren't. They weren't Nobel Prize lectures. Some of them were crude, even dangerous, but that's not the point. The point is law. A democracy is measured by how it treats its loudest, most irritating critics. And right now, Zambia and Zimbabwe are treating the rule of law like toilet paper. So, here we are. One TikTok comedian, two governments, 6 weeks of secrecy, and a mountain of unanswered questions. The PF sees an opportunity to paint Hichilema as an authoritarian in disguise. The UPND insists they are protecting peace and unity. And Mnangagwa is either playing border cop for his neighbor or sleeping while his own capital is turned into a free-for-all. But the bigger issue here is, if smartphones and short videos can terrify governments into illegal detentions, then who really holds the power here? The politicians or the people with cameras in their pockets? Because the more countries crack down on dissent, the more viral the dissent becomes. And in trying to silence why me, the Zambian and the Zimbabwean authorities have only made him louder, more famous, and more symbolic of with their politics. This, my friends, is not about one man. It's about whether Southern Africa is governed by law or by fear. And right now, the answer doesn't look good. So, if you think this story matters, smash that subscribe button now. And you, because tomorrow it might not be a TikToker. Tomorrow it might be your neighbor, the activist, the journalist, or maybe even you. This is Zimwaves TV in collaboration with the Zambian Files.
moyo ngati nyimbo za mbalame zilankhula za mgwirizano tiende pamodzi tonse a Zambia tima umodzi chikondi chathu palibe kusiyana ndife amodzi tiyeni tipange dziko lathu. Ngati anatika masewera sitimaona kusiyana ndi nthawi yoti tikumbukire kuti ndife ana dziko limodzi.